Oh yeah, I feel like we should preface this by saying that Neha claims to not remember a lot of what happened in our relationship.
Well, I just block out traumatic experiences.
What are you saying? Extras,
where we talk about sex and all the extras.
I'm Honey.
And I'm Maria. And this is...
Neha!
As you can see, we have a special guest today.
Very special guest, as promised. In
Honey's
last week's episode. Finally, we've been very excited to record this episode.
I'm also very excited.
Can you tell? She looks so happy. No, but it's not gonna be a deep one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be all here along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer, I am a bit ill, so that's why I sound like this. And it's been raining a bit, so if you hear that, then you know what's going on. We've let you know.
I feel like we have all seen each other at our worst, or at least Maria has seen us at our worst.
Yep.
So there's nothing to fear.
Well, no, I feel like you guys have seen me. It's not like in my prime.
Our youths were pretty fucked. We were all pretty sad.
Exactly. So there's no judgment in this room.
No.
Yeah, I was telling Shane was like, "Oh, are you close with Neha?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. It's not like we see each other a lot, but I feel like we went through a lot."
We did.
Even though we didn't even go out or anything.
You were basically in the relationship.
Poor you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is going to be a public apology to Maria more than anything.
Nah, I have a lot of love for Neha, of course, always.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love you too, Maria. Not you.
Okay.
Fair. But yeah, I mean, context, obviously these two it's not like exes that hate each other, clearly, otherwise we wouldn't all be sitting in this room all cozied up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we are pretty good friends, I would say.
I guess if you put it like that.
You're one of my closest friends.
Oh, you're one of my closest friends too. This is why I call you all the time.
Yeah, she calls me at least once a week when she's drunk, being like, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I don't know how to get home. So yeah.
Classic Neha.
Nothing's changed. Well, let's just get into the zones for this week. Mm-hmm. Neha, do you want to start, seeing as you are our guest of honour?
I'm in the red zone. I'm chaotic horny.
Love that for you.
The best zone, really.
Yeah.
Do you want no elaboration? Just
it's a permanent state of chaos and horniness. That's
Okay, love that. What about you, hun?
Grey. As always. I mean, no, not as always, as it has been recently for some reason, but that's fine. I am stressed.
You're stressed. Okay.
That I don't have a job.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But last night I couldn't sleep and I was like, you know what, I have to be nice to myself because I wanted to take a year out. It's getting to the end of that year out. And I actually know what I want to do with my life, so I feel like I have achieved what I wanted to achieve.
That's good.
That's a big achievement.
So
that's a huge
That's
step.
fine. That's fine. I just have to tell myself that to keep myself happy.
Proud of you, girl.
Thanks. Thanks, baby.
Even
what about
if
you?
won't be proud of yourself.
Aww. Gay. Okay, yeah. Madge, what zone are you in?
I'm honestly I'm good. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling
really
eyes streaming.
Honestly, I feel horrible right now. I feel like I don't even feel ill. I just feel like I have hay fever times 100 because I don't feel unwell.
Yeah.
So it's just struggling through the tears that you're gonna see in this video won't be not crying because I like want them to get back together, or I'm like so emotional over what happened. It's just because I'm ill. So pretty much like grey zone vibes. But I'm also, feeling positive. So I'm gonna go for a cheeky little twist of yellow in there as well.
Okay. Oh, I'd also throw some yellow in there for me as well.
Okay,
that's nice.
It.
Yeah.
Love that for you guys.
But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into the juicy goss.
Okay. So let's start with. Also, Neha is acting like we forced her to be here, but she actually is here by her.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, dragged here, kicked and screaming.
Yeah, she did come here by herself.
Saying it like that makes it seem like you did drag me here. It was consensual, I promise.
They arrived together, so
Maria doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes. She has deniability. Okay, yeah. So let's start with how we met.
We met at school through a mutual friend.
Shout out to
Alex Johnson, who knew Honey and Maria and knew that I had a crush on Maria, so he introduced us, and we all started hanging out because we were the gays united.
We were the gays.
Yeah, this was around what year was this? Like
20
in school wise.
I think 14s.
So yeah, around 14s, 15s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the 14s. You were in the 15s.
Yeah, and I feel like we were like obsessed with Alex.
Everyone was obsessed with Alex.
And that's why we wanted to
cute.
be friends with him. And then we all kind of like came to our gay awakening together.
But yeah, I guess it was like a little like group of gay kids uniting essentially, because it was when kind of like everyone started coming out, and we were like all alone in the world, but we had each other.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. Like looking back on it, I'm glad that we had that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we met basically. Neha had a crush on Maria. I had a crush on this other guy. And
so how did the crush on me transfer to Honey? Like because I feel like
I'm not actually sure. It kind of just happened. I did have a crush on her. It just.
You're like, oh wow, they're like so the
same.
So
similar.
But it's for this one.
Yeah, it's just an easier target.
Maria's too obsessed with this other guy.
Yeah, but I feel like we kind of became friends, and we lived really close to each other.
We took the train every day.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of how it happened.
We'd go to Sainsbury's.
Yeah, our first date was to Sainsbury's.
Cute.
Our only dates were to Sainsbury's.
Yeah, literally. No, we went to Winter Wonderland one time.
That's true. We also went to a garden in Notting Hill.
Oh yeah, no, we went to Holland Park
on
a double date with
Maria
and her girlfriend. That was so weird. I was looking at pictures from that the other day, and it was so awkward, like awkward gay youths.
Yeah, that was really weird.
On a double date. And then what else happened after that? Do you remember? Oh yeah, I feel like we should preface this by saying that Neha claims to not remember a lot of what happened in our relationship.
Well, I just block out traumatic experiences.
What are you saying?
Okay, but how did it start though? Like, so you were going to Sainsbury's, you became good friends, and then what did you just kiss one day, or
we got absolutely wankered in Honey's garden room.
Yeah.
Was I there?
I don't think so. You didn't cop an invite.
Oh. Yeah, you weren't invited. We didn't like you. No, you were probably on a holiday, mate.
Yeah.
And Will went to the bathroom, and you asked if you could kiss me, and I said yes.
Yes. That's so boring.
Look at you.
There was a night before this where we didn't kiss, but you were very drunk. And nothing happened. I feel like that was the start of it, though.
So then you both knew that you liked each other before you kissed. Like, at this point, it was known, kind of thing.
I feel like it was just kind of flirty.
Yeah,
vibes.
just unsaid. But
yeah.
I do distinctly remember the night after we kissed. I had to go to Staines, but I had stayed at Beaver's house, so I came here, and we just sat watching 500 Days of Summer and just did not kiss. And I was just like, is she going to kiss me? Is she going to kiss me? You didn't.
What, to my house?
Yeah, I came here. The day after we
Oh,
first made
really?
out. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, and then I remember
We've
there
just
was...
blocked out different things, so if we piece
so
it
we can
together, we can form
it's like a little
the...
puzzle. Yeah, I just remember that after that I came to your house one day after school and I was like, I'm just gonna kiss you. This is ridiculous now because it had been going on for so long.
Yeah.
And then we kissed, and then we kind of started dating. And my mom was on holiday, and I texted her being like, I actually found the text the other day. I was like searching my texts.
It must have
Maria's
been...
crying. She's getting so emotional remembering it. And I was like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. And I think she was a bit confused because it kind of just came out of nowhere, even though I had already told her I was bi by this point. So, yeah.
Cute.
Jinx.
So cute.
Okay, and then this was around like it was before the summer, no? Like right before the summer.
Well,
To be
April
precise. April 15th is when we started dating.
Okay, April.
we still text each other on our anniversary, being like, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh god.
7 years
Unhinged.
strong.
7
6
years
years
strong.
7? 6 years?
6, yeah.
6 years strong.
Yeah, 6. Okay.
Yeah, and then I remember because my ex and I told each other that we loved each other like somewhere around May.
Oh, yeah.
You guys told each other the same day.
Yeah, and I called Maria to tell her.
Yeah, and I distinctly remember like at that point, sorry, like this is gonna sound like I was such a little petty little shit, but like I remember at that point, I was like, oh wow, like, and I have been dating for more than like double that amount of time, and like I feel like it's too soon for them to be saying I love you.
Yeah, that is my style though.
I know. Honey's like, month is too long. I'm saying now.
Keep to the 3-week mark.
So you fell in love after a month.
Well, before, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like, you're so fucking young and all the emotions are at the forefront anyway, so just any more intense emotion, just whoa.
Yeah, I feel like everything just moves very quickly.
Yeah, what do you remember about that month leading up? Like,
Not much.
Honestly, not much at all.
Yeah.
We probably just like hung out at school, went to Sainsbury's every day after school.
Took the train together, you know,
Yeah.
cute dating stuff.
Yeah, cute relationship things.
cute.
Yeah.
And when did you first like start doing stuff?
Pretty
like,
much immediately.
had you-
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I see. Okay.
I told you I pretty much live permanently in the
Wait,
chaotic,
were
horny
Were
stage.
you a
Yeah,
virgin?
true.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I was also
Well,
a
I was,
virgin.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. True.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
But-
No, but I don't really know. Okay, and then so it was all. I'm just kind of guiding this from my memory of this situation. So it was all like great, good vibes. You know, like you were in love, like happy, blah blah blah.
I don't know if
And
happy
then-
is the way I'd put it.
No,
like
and
not
then-
but like not. Anyway, you're saying
Well,
things.
well, no.
Well,
happy
no.
is not the way you remember it. What
Well,
would
no,
you say?
because my mental health was fucked.
Mm.
Like.
But I'm saying like, would you not say in that first month? Like, I'm saying before the summer.
I guess
like,
so.
It was all like bliss, and it was all like, oh,
Yeah,
this is so new, and like this is so great.
I think
We're,
the
like,
first
making
month or so was
filling
pretty
each other's
good.
like happy buckets.
And then I think it was you went away and my insecurities were like, we're here.
Yeah. I remember
Pay
that was
attention to
when
us.
it all went
Yeah.
downhill. Was
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
went away, because I was like so confused. What was happening? I was like, wait, what? Am I missing something? Like, did something change? Because I went away to America for 3 weeks, just for some context.
So basically the same amount of time as we'd been dating.
No, we'd been dating. Like
No, I
3
know. I
months
was
by this
joking. I
point.
was joking.
And yeah, it was just like, yeah, I feel like that triggered something
Yeah.
where you were like, why? Like, we just texted all the time. I remember I texted you so much and I didn't realise, and I racked up like £150
Oof.
worth of text bills to
Yeah, I
you.
remember.
My mum was so angry. And then yeah, pretty much from then on she was very angry at me and like didn't like the whole vibe.
Yeah, but it was very valid.
Yeah, it was very valid. Okay, so maybe we should kind of like explain what happened. Also, just to preface this by like, obviously there are no hard feelings anymore. No one cares about this, but I feel like it's good to talk about like what happened, because I don't know, I just feel like it's important to talk about for like younger people maybe, or like just recognize mental health issues and stuff.
I just feel like, well, my mum was like, you're too young to be in a relationship, and my mum was right. I was too young to be in a relationship, and like such an intense relationship where my mental health was all over the place. Like I just had a lot of very unfair expectations that I should have dealt with myself and not imposed on somebody else. But you live and you learn.
Yeah, I think also like we should give a bit of grace to people, because like in first relationships I feel like things go a little bit a little bit overboard, because like it's your first relationship, you don't know what you're doing, and like you're kind of just doing what you think is like what everyone else is doing, kind of thing, and like you can just go a little bit extreme and like just want
a little bit extreme.
I mean,
and also like I feel like we didn't really have any example of like gay relationships and what they should be like. Like we just kind of had no idea of what.
Just relationships in general.
Yeah, relationships in general, but especially.
We were both struggling with our mental health, irrespective of being in a relationship, and then you combine all those wonderful emotions and just like fuck.
Like teenage hormones.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, do you want to talk a bit about like what you were experiencing at the time, if you feel comfortable doing that, and like how that affected things?
Well, I was like morbidly depressed is a fairly apt way of putting it, and I just was the most irrational human being I think I've ever met, and I put all of that shit on Honey, which was not fair at all. I was like very suicidal and just didn't know what I was doing, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It feels so strange talking about it, but I just was a dick in essence.
I guess it's hard to talk about because like it's not like we have really any emotional connection to that now. Like in my mind you are a completely different person.
Yeah.
Than you
Start climbing, guys.
No, but it's not even that. Like I feel like you did a lot of work to get to this point.
You know, I think what really helped was, well, not really helped because at the time it was shit, but when you sent me that list of all the fucked up things I'd said, I was just like, whoa, that's not okay. That's like really, really not okay, because like at the time I could only see what I was experiencing, because, you know, just tunnel vision, you're fucking 15 and the only thing going on in your world is your world. And like all the shit things that happen to you, you just think about that and not how you're like subjecting other people to that bullshit as well, which is obviously what I was doing. And then seeing that list just made me realise, oh, you're a twat. You need to sort this out. That's not okay. You can't be doing that to somebody you care so much about. And like even after then I was still a twat, but
that was like the beginning.
I was trying. Yeah, that's where I realised I needed to do something about it. Yeah,
I feel like it's easy when you're younger to kind of think that like the person you're in a relationship with is like responsible for your well-being.
Yeah, but they're not at all. It's not a them problem, it's a you problem, and like obviously you want them to care about you, and they do care about you, and you need to realise that, but they can't fix you. No one can fix you, only you can fix you. And it took me a very long time to realise that, but
and it took me a long time to realise that I couldn't fix you as well. Because I really wanted to help you, and like obviously I cared about you. But like...
You cared about me? That's so sweet.
Yeah, in our year-long relationship, you know, I kind of cared about you a bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit. But yeah, it was like a big kind of learning experience.
Yeah, that's definitely how I look at it now, that it was just a big learning curve.
Yeah, and I'm honestly grateful that like it happened, because I feel like we wouldn't be the people that we are.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it was bad, and we both were in a lot of pain for a very long time, but I'd say we're fairly good people.
Yeah, I think we're fairly good people, I hope.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Manscaped for sponsoring Sextras.
We're so happy to be partnering up with them, especially as they're helping men take control of their hygiene and their health. Because we know that they can very, very much neglect their grooming, very much neglect their hygiene, so they need all the help that they can get.
Definitely. And Manscaped have sent us a whole load of products to help them along on their journey of self-love and kindness and smelling good. So this is the Performance Package 4.0. It includes, most excitingly, the Lawnmower 4.0, which uses skin-safe technology. It has a ceramic blade, which prevent any ingrown hairs, and even has an LED light so you can kind of see what's going on down there.
So helpful. And right after that, you can go in with the Crop Preserver, which is a ball deodorant, and the Crop Reviver, which is a ball toner. And these, again, are just going to help with that redness, that irritation, those ingrown hairs, prevent all of that from happening, and have you smelling absolutely amazing.
Exactly. And then to make sure the men can smell how amazing they smell, you have the Weed Whacker, which again uses that skin safe technology, and it's a nose and ear hair trimmer, and yeah, just gets all of those little stray hairs out of there so you're not feeling irritated.
And wrap your perfectly groomed balls in these super soft anti-chafing boxes, and yeah, it just all comes in this little wash bag. It's absolutely incredible. So go to manscaped.com and use code SEXTRAS20 at checkout for 20% off and free shipping.
That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code SEXTRAS20. Go
Check it out.
If you guys have been listening to the podcast for a while, you know that like me and Maria have been friends for like 10 years now. So she was obviously there through the whole thing. And she was kind of like very involved in a way of like, I feel like I lost perspective of how I should be dealing with things, and I kind of like excused so much behavior from Neha, and to the expense of like you guys and like our friends, because everyone was kind of involved when it was really bad, and you guys kind of had to like step in and say something. So like what was that like from your perspective, or do you have any kind of insights to that moment?
Well, it's quite weird because obviously like you're seeing your best friend go through something that's like non-ideal.
That's one way to put
And,
it.
and like the thing is at the time, like as I was saying at the start of the episode, like I really cared a lot about Neha as well. Not sorry.
She doesn't anymore.
Oh, you both care about me.
But
this
like
is so cute.
it was kind of like they were both going through so much shit, and like yeah, I mean Neha was putting Honey through a lot of it, and like Honey was kind of letting her do that in a way, like from you know.
No, it's true. It's
an outside perspective or whatever.
It was.
But like I could see that they're obviously both in like a lot of pain, and I think like for instance like a lot of the issue towards the end of like when it was kind of like when he was trying to end it or whatever, or couldn't end it and couldn't walk away, like I completely understood and sympathized with like everything that was going on, because it's like I could see Neha was in a lot of pain and like really needed Honey, so it's like I get how you just can't just like be like, oh well, too bad, like
bye,
see you later,
this ain't good for me, so I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Honey's my best friend, and it's like she's been like now she's at a point where it's like this is like not good anymore, like this is not viable anymore, like it's one of you is gonna get really 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 hurt,
or
and,
the
like,
both of you.
yeah exactly. So it was more like how more stressful, and like how like what is the solution to this realistically, like how can you make it better, and like how can we help Neha, because I do feel like even like all of us, like we wanted to help Neha as well.
Yeah, I felt that from you guys.
But
yeah,
I feel like
no.
you didn't want to be helped as well.
No,
at
I
that
was
point.
I was spiraling, and I was like, I'm going to reach the bottom of this pit, and
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen.
But I feel like that needed to happen. But like none of us were equipped to deal with.
Oh yeah, no,
the
you were all
things
like
that,
so
like,
fucking young as
yeah.
well, and it's just like, what is this human being doing? Like, how do we help her? But we don't know how to deal with anything ourselves.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's just,
like none of us knew how to deal with it, but we obviously wanted to. But yeah, it kind of just went so far that like we were all trying to figure it out in a way without me being involved with you and without like, I don't know. It was so
it was such a
complicated.
shit situation. Sorry for putting you through that. That was as you put it, not ideal.
But maybe we should like talk a little bit more about like what actually happened, because I feel like we're kind of like mentioning stuff that happened but not really saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to get like.
So maybe, Hun, do you want to say a bit from your perspective, like kind of how it felt, like how it felt.
Yeah.
You.
Well, I feel like I was dealing by myself with like just normal teenage issues and like anxiety. I do think I've like always been an anxious person, but I didn't really obviously recognize it at this point. And yeah, I feel like we kind of went through this whole like sexual awakening together, and like sexuality awakening, and like just coming to terms with ourselves. And like at the beginning I feel like it was really positive and like I was really happy, and then as we said, when I went away it kind of started to like spiral a little bit.
And like what changed when you went away?
Well,
I feel like
okay.
No, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I think at that point in time I was a really insecure person and like needy and I just wanted attention, and so when Honey was away, this sounds so pathetic, but I just wanted attention, and like from that point onwards I would just like pick arguments for like no valid reason, and it's just like, looking back on it, it's just like, why were you like that? But
I completely get that. I've like been that person, and like in a lot of ways I am still that person of like when you are insecure or like want attention or like want a need and you don't know how to like really say that in a healthy way, you kind of just start acting out and like basically begging for attention in the worst possible way.
And then obviously she'd argue back, and it would just like push for like two anxious people arguing just constantly. It pushes you further and further into just like a pit of misery, which is exactly what happened, and it wasn't going to get better from that point. It just
I feel like that was just the turning point. And like I think also because we had been so involved, because we went to the same school and we like saw each other every day,
so much fun,
and we lived in the same place. Like that sudden change, like I can understand like now how that would have been such a big, like it was difficult for me because obviously I loved you at this point and like I wanted to spend time with you and I missed you, but then I could see like from what you were going through as well why there was like that sudden change, and like why you suddenly like you had to make up for the attention that like we couldn't give each other because I was away, you know. And and then so this was kind of like 4 months into our relationship, I would say, and then kind of from then on we went through this like series of like me trying to break up with you, or like at one point you thought I was trying to break up with you and then you kind of broke up with me but said that it was
so
me
healthy.
breaking up with you. It was all very confusing.
It was such a mindfuck.
We like broke up and got back together like 3 times. And I feel like, so this was the summer that things started to go wrong, and I feel like in like October was when we started breaking up, getting back together, and it was kind of just like what are they doing? No one could really see how bad it was at that point. I feel like I felt really shit, you felt really shit, I was trying to help you, and in the process kind of like neglecting my own mental health, and I feel like it kind of just slid from there of like I just kind of lost sight of what was actually good for either of us. Like I thought that I could help the relationship by helping you, but actually that meant that like I wasn't okay, and then everything that I did you couldn't recognize, and everything you were doing I couldn't recognize as like being bad for both of us, if that makes sense. It sounds like really abstract, but it's essentially it just got like very toxic, very not even quickly, but we couldn't
relatively quickly
but we couldn't recognize that was what was happening, you know. And like there was a lot of just like texting going on. It was a lot of arguing over text, which I think is going on. Never a good thing, but like
even after we broke up, it wasn't really like a clean cut. Largely because I wouldn't allow it to be, which is gimme.
No, but I remember like that was so difficult.
It was
like,
really
difficult.
I
don't know how I broke. I'm honestly like looking back on it, I don't know how I ever broke up with you because it just seemed like it was never ever gonna end. But so I broke up with you like the May after we had been dating for like over a year at this point. And I think everyone kind of just expected us to get back together, and like not that we did officially, but we kind of flirted with the idea on and off for like a while, like a year I would say. And it got to the point of like our parents getting involved, which was messy because
loved you and my mum going for like coffee. That was fun.
I think she initiated that, you know.
I think she did initiate it.
I had never like met her as your girlfriend as well, which maybe we can talk about after this whole like timeline spiel. But and then the school got involved as well. Kind of basically everyone was involved, and I think we couldn't even recognize like on a large scale how much everyone could see that like it was bad, because
it was really bad. Like
when
you think about it like that, like I never thought about like our parents and the school getting involved, and I already thought that was bad. Now when it's said like that, that's a
like if you thought about like if Maria's sister, who's 17, was going through that now, and we heard it from like our perspective now, it would be like holy shit, that is
oh my god,
intense.
True. I've never even thought about that.
But like we were just living that. It's just our lives.
For you, Neha, like as you were saying like when Honey went away and sort of like your insecurities kicked in and like your mental health was just like plummeting a little bit. Do you think like then the relationship itself was kind of like feeding all of that bad shit? Like, do you think it was all just like a cycle that was like in a way, or how was it for you?
I don't really know how to explain it, because I had a lot of shit going on with my family, so I was already like not having a good time, and then because Honey went away, and like I had sort of already become fairly like dependent on her because of all the shit with my family. Then when she went away, it was just like, oh fuck, I've been abandoned again. So all that shit kicked in, and I guess I just put a lot of pressure on the relationship and her while she was away to like give me attention when she couldn't really do that. And I don't know, it was just not a good time in general. Everything was pretty painful.
But then do you think like as the relationship went on and whatever, like do you think that it was feeding your mental illness in a way?
To an extent, because well, the arguments definitely, which is what our relationship primarily became, which is always fun. So yeah, I would say it did feed into my mental health issues. It was only like after we broke up and like we had like a fair bit of distance that my mental health started to get better. Which obviously isn't Honey's fault, but like we didn't help each other. Yeah.
And I think we had to break up, and like I had to like force us. I literally had to force us to have that distance. Like I think it took me going to uni for us to have that distance, because there was just like no way that if we were at the same school or living in the same place, we were not going to see each other. And like seeing each other was just
so bad for us.
So bad. Like there was no way we were ever going to get over it. And I remember I like moved form class, remember?
Oh yes, I do recall.
And I don't know why they ever thought putting us in the same form was a good idea. That was just the worst idea possible, because they knew at this point like how everything was. Everyone kind of knew.
Everyone knew.
Everyone knew. All the teachers knew. all the people in both our years at
Yeah.
school knew, like, it was just common knowledge.
Famous.
Yeah, famous school scandal.
Why do you think it was like so hard for you when you broke up to like actually let go?
Because I'd become so dependent on her.
Mm.
Just because everything was so shit at home. And Honey was kind of like, my other friends knew, but like not as much as Honey knew. And sort of just became dependent on her to like talk to about that, and to like, I don't want to use the phrase like give happiness, because you can't give somebody like, but I just became very reliant on her for like just talking to about my emotions and like supporting my emotions. And so when she tried to break up with me, I was just like, fuck. Here we go.
So did that like so overpower, like, because did you have no, like, at the time, no sort of like awareness of like, wow, this is so terrible, and like I completely get why we need to break up?
Yeah, no, I did, but not, that was less important than like
Okay.
the others. I don't know. Like I was obviously not happy.
Yeah.
Like towards the end, I was like, I also did consider breaking up with her, but like that was overshadowed by all the shit that was going on at
Of
home,
course,
and just
Yeah, I think like also when I broke up with you, I didn't want it to be like, oh, we're never gonna talk. Like I think I put pressure on the situation of like, I want us to be friends because I was so worried about you, and I feel like that was obviously the wrong move, because that kind of like gave you false hope that maybe we could get back together or whatever, and like that was the case. Like
that did happen.
You know? And that kind of just like came from a place of caring, and I guess like not really knowing how to end it, but like obviously now looking back, that was a stupid thing to do.
Yeah. You could obviously be friends with an ex. But like you do need space. It doesn't just work straight off the bat.
And we definitely needed like that stark just like cut off, so that we could just kind of like realize what had been happening and just process it all.
Yeah,
and I think
it's a lot to process. Some space was definitely needed.
So at the time, like, what allowed you to sort of like allow that space finally? Was it just because there was actually physical space?
Yeah, just actual physical space.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then when did you sort of like feel like you were coming out the other end of it, or whatever?
There've been like a lot of periods where I'm like, okay, I'm actually over her now, and then, but I knew 100,000% I had no feelings for her anymore when she told me about, and I was like, oh, I don't care.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like really far in. I thought it was like
no, but like she hadn't been in a relationship.
Yeah, neither of us had been in a relationship.
I had presumed I'd been over her for a while, but there'd been so many times.
Oh right, like the confirmation.
But like, yeah, this was a confirmation.
Okay.
I feel like if it had happened sooner, then there would have been. But I was like, yeah.
But then wait, because I kind of don't remember this part anymore. Like, so we
barely do anyway.
Like you went to uni, and then that's like when the real like time apart or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when do you like start rebuilding like a healthy friendship, and like you're both actually over each other, and like this can actually be a healthy friendship? Or like the whole friendship that like never happened. There was
we have a fairly healthy friendship. It just
I feel like it's happened over time.
Yeah, it went from like we've been friends for like most of our for most of our breakup. It just went from like a still sort of like bad, not healthy friendship, and then morphed into like you're such a great presence in my life.
No, because I feel like after I went to uni, like you came to visit me that time, I remember, and you like got all mad at me because I wouldn't hug you and sleep in the same bed as you, and I was like, okay, well this is definitely like not
I'm glad you're finding this funny.
This is like not the vibe still, so maybe a bit more distance. And then I remember after that like kind of really like putting some barriers, and like I kind of just didn't talk to you for a while, I think. And that wasn't even that long. And then I think I saw you again maybe like in the summer or something. So after my first year of uni, Neha had just finished school. We would kind of like hang out, but just like very casually as friends. Like it wasn't any kind of like opportunity for anything at all to happen. And I feel like by this point I could see that you had changed, and you were like, you had your own life at school, and you were like clearly just like your own person now. Not that you weren't,
no,
before,
but I know
you
what
get
you
what I
mean.
mean. Like,
Yeah.
there was no like codependency.
Dependency, because you'd been away, and like I was.
Yeah, and you kind of like had all these like interests and all these things happening in your
I
life.
just actually had to work on my mental health for a bit, which was pretty good for me.
And I remember there was a moment where I was like, okay, like maybe now like things can be different. And then I started trying to like rebuild that like idea in my head of like, okay, you're a different person to the person that I dated, and like now it's fine. But it definitely took time, and I remember like the first few times we hung out as friends, like officially friends, I was like super nervous, and like I would get anxious to come and see you or whatever, and then kind of over time it's just like disappeared.
Woo, I'm glad you don't get anxious when you come to see me anymore.
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but like last time that we were at Honey's house, and Neha was there, and you guys were being so extra. Like, I'm sorry.
So extra? How are we being extra?
Everyone thought that we were flirting.
Yeah, you were flirting. You like went upstairs to the bathroom together.
She
like,
fed me water.
I fed
that?
Okay, no, because Neha was so drunk. Okay, just some context. Neha was very drunk.
This whole podcast is just us talking about me drinking. You just sound like a fucking alcoholic.
But yeah, anyway, and we had to pee, so we went to the bathroom together, and she fell up the stairs, and I pushed your ass, and Maria was like, what is this? You slapped her ass, like, honey, you're flirting with her, blah, blah. And then I was like feeding you water in the kitchen.
Oh my god,
and everyone was like, they're flirting, like, what is going on? And it just wasn't a vibe.
Yeah, no,
this is very platonic. We're so platonic that we can do things like this.
Now. Yeah.
I'm like this with all my friends.
It's weird to me that we have had sex.
Yeah, no, it's really weird to me that we've had sex.
Yeah. Like genuinely
our relationship
bizarre.
Feels like a fever dream.
But I know that both of you would do it. Like, under the right circumstance, you would do it. I know it.
No,
honestly, no. We're fucking friends.
Yeah, we're friends. I honestly don't think it could happen.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen.
Like, not that I don't think you're hot, but I don't want to sleep with you. Okay, but yeah, actually, can we kind of come back to this like whole me being in a relationship with someone else thing? Like, was that weird for you? Because I remember
No, that's when I realised I absolutely had no feelings for you anymore, because I was like, oh, that's really nice.
But I remember I like called you one time. I was like having a panic attack while I was dating this guy, because I was like, I feel like Neha is the only person who can like give me perspective right now of like, am I being completely insane? Because she's dated me. And you were like so fine about it.
Yeah, no, I had no problems with it.
Yeah. And I think that was a big step to us becoming friends as well.
Yeah.
Like becoming
I remember a lot of women I've like been on dates with have had problems with me being friends with you. I was like, but why? It's been so long ago now. And they were like, but you're not actually really ever friends with your ex, and then you got into a relationship. I was like, but we are friends. Yeah. It's
we
fine.
Are. And but he had a problem with us being friends. And you came to him to my
I
house to give
this.
me UTI medication because Neha is the only person that lives close to me, and
I wasn't even in the area. I had moved out.
Oh, had you?
Yeah, I came all the way from Cali Road to give you UTI medication.
Oh, that's so kind. Yeah.
And I met Seabass.
Wow, I wonder why your girlfriends have problems.
Not my girlfriend. I'm a good human being.
But I didn't tell him until you got there. Like, oh, this is my ex, by the way. Because I needed the UTI medication. I was not okay because I had COVID at the same time, just for context, so I couldn't go out and get it. But yeah, anyway, this is all not very relevant.
So would you, if like someone that you were seeing was like you really wanted to be with this person and they were like, I don't want you being friends with Honey, would you stop being friends with Honey?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't stop being friends with Honey.
Oh my god.
I feel honoured.
But no one I would want to see would tell me to stop being friends with Honey. I think the people that I see would be okay now.
Well, they had like problems with you trekking all the way across London to give her UTI.
But I would do that for any of my friends.
Fine.
Yeah, the thing is like, it's not that I don't value our friendship a lot, but it's more like about the principle of it than like the friendship itself, you know? Like, if
Wait,
someone
what?
if someone asked me to stop being friends with anyone
yeah.
that I consider my friend, I wouldn't want to date them.
Mm.
Like, regardless of if you're my ex or not, you know?
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
you're like my only ex, I would be friends with. Out of the two.
No offense.
So
No
yeah.
offense.
Offense to the other person.
Not mentioning any
No,
names.
definitely
Definitely
not.
haven't like 8 times.
Yeah, definitely haven't like called his entire lifestyle out like 50 times.
From like your relationship, you know, after it ended and, you know, going forward into like the rest of your life and the rest of like your love life, like how, I don't know, are there things that you can like point to about this relationship that you're like, oh, like this formed the way that I do this, or I don't know, things that you like went forward and you're like, okay, like this, I'm not gonna do this, or I don't know, tell us, you know, the aftermath.
Well, I've actively avoided relationships since. I've not been in a relationship. Like, I've seen people, but I don't do relationships.
So you think it traumatized you?
No, no, not traumatized. Just pushed me into a deeply avoidant state of being.
Same.
Ah,
It's kind of
kidding.
wild that we're both avoiding though.
Yeah, just mad. But no, I see people. I don't do serious.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Mhm.
Do you,
Yes.
do you think if you got into a relationship, how do you think our relationship would affect it?
I don't know if our relationship would affect it so much because it's affected how I've like changed my life in between. Like I don't do conflict anymore either. Like I actively avoid it. If there's something that's happened, I've just gone the complete other way from being super argumentative and picking like tiny petty fights. So like a big thing will happen, I'll just be like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna ignore that and pretend nothing happened. Which also probably isn't pretty healthy.
Yes.
Like I can tell my friends or like close people if they've done something to upset me, but I tend to avoid conflict. So I think, but in my friendship, like when we dated, I wasn't secure in my friendships either. Like I was also arguing with my friends a lot, but now I'm very secure in my friendships.
That's good.
So I'm sure if I get into but I'm not. If I get into a relationship, the security that I have in my friendships would carry through.
Yeah.
There's no real way to know.
Okay, but you're kind of like scared of getting into a relationship.
I'm
Or
not
how would you
scared.
describe?
I'm just I don't want to.
No, that's fine. That's
Because
fine.
I intend to fuck off and live my life, and I don't think I can do that in a relationship. If I haven't been in a relationship in like 5 years, then right now is not the time to get into one.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's fair.
Yep. And what about you? How has our relationship affected your relationships?
I might have a little bit of trauma,
Just a little.
but I think I'm working on it. You know,
Yeah.
I actually think it's been like equally positive and negative to
Interesting.
how I approach relationships, because like obviously at the start it was mostly negative. Like
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this bitch.
Very
But,
valid.
but now I'm kind of like, I know what a healthy relationship looks like,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
I know what a relationship shouldn't look like,
Uh-huh.
and I know that like to be happy in a relationship I need to like keep my friends close to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
and like set some boundaries in that regard, and like,
Boundaries are very important.
yeah, I feel like I just know like what I want. Basically, I have better boundaries. I know what a healthy relationship looks like, and I'm also scared of women. So there's that. But that's mainly on me at this point, because I'm being a baby.
We'll find you some women.
One day the Renaissance will start. The true Renaissance.
The true queer Renaissance is going to start soon.
The Renaissance.
The Renaissance, exactly. Genius.
Thank you, I'm very witty.
But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the way it's affected me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
How about Neha, do you think that Honey has anything that maybe she should apologize for?
Well, towards the end of the relationship, she just stopped putting up with my shit, but that's not so much something she should apologize for. It's just pushed her to her absolute limit, and then she started retaliating. But
yeah, Honey can be quite brutal.
Yeah.
When she's lost the patience.
Yeah.
Come to the end of the line.
It doesn't happen very often though. You are so lucky you got to experience it.
Lucky me.
Yeah, I mean it was an accumulation of things, but I'm definitely not proud of how I acted towards the end.
There were some.
There were a couple of occasions where I could have acted differently. So I am very sorry about those.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I feel like we've apologised enough to each other at this point.
Oh, but did I not get the apology on air?
Okay, I'm sorry that I slept with the one person you didn't want me to sleep with after we broke up. And I'm sorry that I slapped you.
It's okay, I forgive you.
Thank you.
I had forgotten that you slapped me.
I forgive you too.
Thank you. Yeah, I am sorry.
Yeah.
You also get an apology on air.
Thanks.
I'm sorry too, Maria.
Yeah, Maria
It's
was so sorry for how we treated you. How
I'm
you
sorry
had
you
to put up
guys,
with us.
went through that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's brought us closer together. We've grown. We've learned.
We've had trauma.
We've had trauma. We've coped. We've become better people because of it. And now I can keep choosing shitty people.
That's so mean of you saying that.
No, I was a shitty
No,
person. She
I'm
chose me
joking.
when I was shit.
Yeah.
She wants to be friends with me now that I'm better.
Exactly. That was the overarching message of the episode. But yeah, hopefully that will change soon. Maybe I just need to date women and
Just date women. Women are so much
this
better.
whole problem will go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem did start with me dating women. So.
I see
Yeah, but
your
it
point.
didn't end there, so...
Yeah, it didn't end there, exactly.
Just date mentally sane women or people in general.
Yeah,
I think that's the
PSA.
message. Yeah.
Yeah, just someone needs to drill that into my brain. Oh god, but yeah, I feel like that's it. That's the episode.
Yeah.
But you may have a chance to initiate people into your cult.
Oh yes, of course. So as you heard, I was a twat before I started climbing. Well, oh fuck, I got too close to the microphone again. I'll sit here and try not to get too excited about climbing. I'm just gonna say, follow my climbing Instagram, please.
Yeah.
At Neha Climbs.
If you learned anything from this episode, is that you should start rock climbing.
Yeah. It
It'll
fixes
make you a
all
better
problems.
human being. Mental
So-
health leaves. Well, arrives. Mental illness leaves.
Mental health leave.
There are 3 things going on in my brain at all times, which is food, sex, and climbing.
Yeah. And you can become a lesbian.
Become a lesbian and
So-
a climber, and then come find me.
Yeah, and you can
Just-
come and meet Neha at our meetup. We're approaching our 2 years in case you guys didn't get the
Whoa, that's been
message.
so long.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we are bless you.
Thanks.
We are going to have a meetup on the 25th of June at Hyde Park from 1 PM onwards. Get all the details and more info, it'll be all on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit at Sextras Podcast, our website www.sextraspodcast.com, email us sextraspodcast@gmail.com if you want to send us any submissions for this like bonus episode that is apparently gonna happen, except no one sent us anything useful.
I'll send you some things.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Neha.
And yeah, come make friends with us, have some celebrations, and other than that, we will see you next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi. Produced by Mabel Productions.